Hey, therapists. I actually had another topic planned for us today, but thought I would do something different given the fact that the world is on fire and it is literally our job to have compassion and empathy and understanding for people with all kinds of different perspectives. And when the world feels like it is going through such a crisis situation and it's incredibly fraught, it can become very difficult for us to do our jobs on a number of levels. First of all, if we're not really that okay, I mean, despite what the general population believes, we are actually vulnerable to our own feelings of anxiety, a little bit of catastrophic thinking sometimes, right? And can be having our own concerns and preferences and worries right alongside of our clients. And I think it's undeniably true that when we are dealing with our own stuff and with a client who is maybe dealing with things that are similar or different, it can be more challenging in those moments, I think, to be as emotionally present as we would like to be, but also, to have empathy, understanding, and unconditional positive regard in our professional relationships for someone who sees the world very differently than we do. It can create challenges because, again, it is literally our job to be able to see things from another person's point of view with empathy, and not saying you need to agree with anything, right? But to be able to maintain those relationships and at the very least find hopefully some noble intentions, because we are in relationships where there is a power differential. And we have a mandate to do no harm. And part of not harming our clients is being able to maintain that empathy, understanding, and positive regard. Now, I do think that it is also absolutely fair and true to be able to draw some lines around self-protection. We also deserve to have a safe workspace. We do not need to be victimized, bullied, abused, denigrated, right, in our workspace. And you can also decide who you need to provide with a referral versus somebody that you are choosing to maintain a relationship with. That's absolutely fair. The very first thing that I am doing and my friends are doing, and we're doing it together, is 10xing the energy that we are putting into self-care. I mean, like serious self-care. Self-care is like not just something that we talk about. It is the actions that prioritize our well-being. And right now, we all need to be maxing this out, like pulling out all the stops. And I think it starts with the support system that you have around you. I mean, personally, I cannot imagine where I would be right now without my professional slash personal relationships with people who are therapists. To be able to talk, vent, process. Also, certainly, if there are sticky situations with clients, particularly clients that we may be having countertransference type reactions to, where is your safe space to do that? So like at Growing Self, at my practice, this week I am doing drop-in support groups, honestly, for people on our team just to vent, freak out, or talk about exactly this. Like, how do I handle the situation with a client that I am finding really challenging? I need to be able to stay professional and do a good job with them. I'm struggling. And just, I think we all need that. It is okay to need support. It is essential. And so the first thing I'd like you to think about is who is that for you? What is the team that you lean on? Do you have that? Professional consultation group, friends that are therapists. If you're feeling an absence of that right now, that is something really important for you to be working on and developing in your professional life. The foundation of self-care is always our physical health. And I know, this is the kind of thing that we say to our clients and don't always do it for ourselves. So in case you needed somebody to say this to you, here I am saying the foundation is sleep. And it can be hard to sleep when there's a lot going on, can't it? So, take the damn melatonin, whatever you need. Magnesium supplements have been fantastic. But there are certain times when life is more stressful. Maybe you need to reinstitute that little bedtime routine, whatever it is for you. But do the things, because sleep is critical. Additionally, nutrition. Making sure that you are having nourishing foods and vitamin supplements, if that's a thing that works for you, drinking water, getting some exercise. Also thinking about what are pockets of moments that are pleasurable or nice or fun. And so another part of self-care, and I alluded to this at the beginning, is also thinking about what are your boundaries. I know therapists who are giving themselves permission to take a step back from some situations that they know are going to be triggering AF for them, but also honestly, if they're really real with themselves, they can say, I am not going to be the helper that this person needs and deserves this week. And so another thing that I think is very important for us to do, not just short term, but long term, is reflecting on the nature of our work. I think it is worth considering what it means to be a therapist in a world where many people have very deep and passionate beliefs, because the very nature of our work means that we are having emotionally intimate and emotionally safe relationships with all kinds of different people. And again, that is our job. If you are not able to have emotionally intimate, emotionally safe relationships characterized by a high degree of empathy and ability to see through somebody else's eyes and maintain sincere, unconditional, positive regard, you are not doing your job. We need to think about what kinds of environment and what kind of work is in alignment with our values, and that would allow us to have the kind of professional experience that is congruent with our belief system and our needs. So, for example, in certain environments, community mental health, many agency settings, you get who you get, and you really don't have a lot of control over the kinds of clients that you work with, the kinds of presenting issues that your clients may be showing up with. And while you don't have control over that in some environments, you do have control over it in others. And so here is a great opportunity to do some assessment around, who are you? What do you want? What are your values? And are there environments that would help you express those values? So for example, you cannot be in situations where you are in a power dynamic with people, where people are paying for these services that you cannot in good faith provide. So I just wanted to say this because it turns into an ethical situation for us, and that can be challenging. So that is one way of managing the ethics around this, is by aligning yourself with an organization or healing community that is in alignment with your values. But additionally, there are certainly growth opportunities for us, right? And I think, the other piece of this is, where are the growing edges? Where are the opportunities for you as a professional to not just stay in the ring, but really develop an authentic understanding and appreciation for the world as seen through eyes of people who are very different for you? Like, how does it make sense? And when you can stay in that place of softness and genuine empathy, are there opportunities for you, for us, for all of us as helpers to be, one little starfish at a time, helping people come back into the center where through their healing relationships with us, they may have a greater capacity to also be able to see and appreciate other points of view and create more spaciousness for a middle path where there are many things that are simultaneously true, and have in that way devoted our shared profession to creating more empathy, more understanding, more tolerance and appreciation that can hopefully be, on a person by person basis, part of the energy that this world does need right now, which is bringing people back into the center, I think is how we can potentially change the world for the better. But of course, that work does start with us, and it is absolutely not something that you have to do. But I hope that this conversation, if nothing else, helps you feel seen and heard. And I don't know, just gives you permission to be thinking about your options and figuring out where your values are and who you want to be, I think, in the face of all of this turmoil in the world. And additionally, I hope if nothing else, it was a reminder for you to practice really good self-care, and not sacrifice your own mental and emotional well-being on the altar of, whatever we are collectively going through right now. Okay, my friend, that is all I had to say. But thank you so much for being in this with me. As always, connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to continue the conversation. Oh, and I should tell you, if this conversation does make you think, yeah, I need to figure out what I'm doing with my life long term, I have a free resource that I just like to put in front of you. I originally developed it to help therapists learn about career path opportunities related to becoming a certified coach, because for many therapists in my experience, to kind of get out of situations that are not good for them, coaching can afford a really positive opportunity. However, the whole first part of this has nothing to do with coaching. It is actually exercises that help you get clarity around your ideal career path as a therapist. So envisioning, what you want for your future, getting in touch with your core values. It is a free 2-part training that I put together. It has a workbook with a bunch of journaling prompts. It's completely free. I made it for you. And so if you're in that space of like, I don't even know what to do with myself right now, grab that free resource. Even just do that part 1 that helps you get clarity around some of those big questions, and do or don't move on and continue to learn more about whether or not coaching could be part of that, but just so that you get some direction and can begin to develop your own long-term career path goals. Okay, that is all, my friends. Thank you so much. And as always, I'll be back in touch next week.